It's a very low barrier to get into the Gronk Squad.
That's crazy!
We've committed to do the Daily Talk Show for 10 years.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Put it in the calendar.
That one in.
Just like to check the temperature in the room.
I told you my squeegee story.
It is outrageous.
Come on, let's go. It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 981.
What day is it? What is it? It's
Hump Day.
It's Hump Day. Happy Hump Day.
We used to have a podcast with Georgie Boy called Hump Day.
Yeah, we've still got George.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast still is online if you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
It is a great podcast. George did such a great job. I tell you who did a great job.
At what?
Just at raising me, my father.
Mm-hmm. What did he do? Wow.
Wow, actually, it's
More
still
complicated than that.
yeah. No, he's a great man. Driving Bodhi to daycare yesterday.
Lovely sentiment he has.
Does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the guy too well.
Mm-hmm.
What's your vibes on him?
He's
Sentiment?
lovely. Yeah, no, he just seems quite calm, but also
He can blow up, mate.
But also, Bodhi, no.
Yeah, stern.
Yeah,
Stern.
And so anyway, he was driving Bodhi.
Well, no, yesterday I was driving to daycare first thing in the morning. I'm like, that's my dad. And my dad doesn't live anywhere near Abbotsford.
He's with the neighbour, Sharon.
No, her name's Debbie. No. I was like, I saw a ute.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because I was about to turn left and take a different path, but then I decided to go another path. And at that moment, I spotted a ute ahead and I followed it because I'm like, this is Dad. So Bodhi's in the car, Amy's in the car. Followed him. Turn left. I'm like, mate, this is him. Pull up and it's him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a chat?
He was so pumped to see Bodhi. Not me. No, but it was one of those moments where he kind of had a freak out. Like, oh.
Have you done that overseas?
Have I bumped? Oh, yeah. When I walked into the Banana Bungalow in Los Angeles. I mean, a lot of people go to LA.
You haven't spoken about the Banana Bungalow in a long time.
I hope they're doing all right. COVID would have hit them hard.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a lot of sort of unique individuals staying at the Banana Bungalow. There's one in Santa Monica, I think, Venice, and the other one is in West Hollywood. And I walked in and I saw my friend Wendy playing pool.
What's Wendy's deal?
Wendy
How'd you know Wendy?
grew up around the traps,
Yeah.
hang at the train station together, good memories, good memories. But Wendy was there, and so what a coincidence. It was great. Anyway, it's great seeing my dad. I love it when those things happen.
Yeah.
Out of his hood, just cruising around. He's like, I'm actually just waiting I got to go to an appointment in the city. And so randomly we, cross paths.
Well,
I love that.
we had that with Basil.
Basil, yesterday. He's been on Hump Day about 14 times.
Yeah.
Basil's a great guy. And that was the same. We just stumbled upon Basil.
Literally walking to get coffee, bump into Basil, end up at his place. Nothing happened.
I mean, that sounds like a good night out.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've randomly seen somebody and then spent the whole night with them have been more than not.
Well, yeah, you spoke about that. Was it London or something? Have you been to London?
Yeah, I went to London.
Was it? I feel like you bumped into a mate and ended up spending heaps of time with them.
I've traveled with John, who just happened to be there. It's like who happens to be in the town at the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I met once. I was out with a friend. We were walking along the street, got in a punch up, and it wasn't me in the punch up. It was my mate who was punching on with some dude, and then that guy had a friend. We then became mates.
Oh no!
We went out for pizza that night.
Really?
What
did your loser mate do?
Oh, I don't know. He went off. And so
was he pissed off?
Yeah, I think kind of was just pissed. Was he
pissed? Was he pissed off though that you then befriended?
A bit angry, and then I just we were wrestling everyone. Next minute, me and Daniel are having pizza together, and then we became mates. We started doing boxing together. Mate,
well, I remember my brother went to like a basketball tour when he was younger in the US, and there was a photo of him in Universal Studios. And I zoomed in on his holiday photos, and I saw someone from our suburb that was at Universal Studios. My brother James didn't know them.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Dude, so my brother is married to a beautiful woman named Claire, and we grew up in sort of similar suburbs, didn't go to the same school, like my brother and her didn't go to the same school,
Mm-hmm.
but there's photos of them when they're super young.
Oh, that's cool.
And like how amazing, like looking at a photo, there's like a bunch of kids and two people that are now married that have, a third kid on the way.
Mm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
I'm struggling to swallow today.
Too many big slugs.
What's a slug?
No, leave that
I
one.
don't get it.
It's just a illicit drug joke.
Okay. What sort of drug?
Cocaine.
Okay. That happens, does it?
Throat goes numb. I heard what happens.
Uh-huh. And so, because I was saying earlier, we had a call with a client, a potential client, and then halfway through the call, I tried to talk, and I was like needing to swallow, and I was like really struggling. And then I remembered a couple of nights earlier, I was on the phone to a mate. I was lying down on my stomach having a conversation.
Where were you? In bed?
In bed.
Okay,
Well, actually not in bed, but just like I always lay on top of the bed.
Well, your bed's always made.
Yeah,
Bree
pisses
does
off
it. Bree makes a good bed, and then you fuck it up.
No, I make a bed sometimes. Yeah.
No, but I've seen it. Like you could lie on that bed
Yeah. And so I lie I always go like horizontal.
with your legs up, watching a bit of Gossip Girl.
Yeah, but like as in, so it's not the correct way of lying because
you're a big unit.
Yeah.
And it's going across the bed makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Amy was doing it last night.
And so I was lying down.
Yeah.
And I was talking, and as I was talking to my mate, I was like, I'm really struggling to like swallow and get out words.
You said that to him?
No, I was just like explaining it, like having this conversation, explaining something, and that was happening. I was like, oh no. And I stood up and it sort of got better. But now I have a feeling that it's a panic attack.
So you think it came back today? Which was it like a panic situation that or was it out of context that you were connecting a panic attack?
I think I had to be really thinking about stuff, and it was my turn to talk, and it was in that moment where I was like struggling. And then I thought about, I used to get tinnitus or tinnitus or whatever you call it in my ears, ringing. Yeah. No, it was like, yeah. And it happened. So I did a fireworks documentary about fireworks in the Philippines, had a firework go off. Ever since then, I had that noise. And the doctors were saying, just don't think about it. And it got better. And so I feel like that was a bit of an anxiety thing, or if you get overly tired. But now, so I used to have a yawning thing happen where
it's something to do with the oxygen intake. And so being anxious.
Have you seen me doing that? Do you remember seeing me do that?
Yeah.
So it's like a mid yawn.
But no, I'm fucking yawning now.
And so it's like
a tired yawn.
No. But no, it's like you can't get the oxygen. But it's not to do with oxygen. It has everything to do with like it is an anxiety thing for a lot of people.
It's
actually not
that's happening based on
And so that it's sort of like
the thing about deep breathing, when shallow breathing. So the reason I thought it may be, and we're not doctors here. The reason I might not be. Yeah, you are, Dr. Janssen. The reason I thought it may be connected to the oxygen thing is because think about the shallow breathing due to anxiety. I do it all the time. That's my go-to, shallow and then a big one.
Yeah, no, you do a through the teeth.
Snorkelers.
Yeah, but
anyway, call it a scuba diver.
So the annoying thing is it's happening at the moment, and like it sort of feels like really inflamed what's that called again?
Glands. So where your parent would grab you and just and you do it to yourself.
Grab you by the neck.
Yeah, well, no, grab you and sort of feel to say, like if you were trying to bullshit that you were sick.
Yeah, sure.
Like, oh, I'm sore, my throat. It's like they grab your throat, feel your glands,
and
so they can swell up.
Yes. And so I was thinking potentially it's connected because I didn't walk into work today. I was thinking maybe maybe my adrenals, maybe I've got some adrenal issues.
Or you know what can mess with your adrenal gland?
No, what?
As he sips a strong coffee. Your coffee
I did say that I wanted
deplete.
I didn't want a strong, but Jess said, no, just get a strong. And I actually like it.
I pushed for you to get the weak.
Well, because I wanted to, it was sort of, I was experimenting. I was like, because we're like, oh, let's go for a walk. Go to the PO box, see if you feel a bit better.
Adrenal gland, not adrenaline gland.
Did I say adrenaline?
No.
Okay.
I type in adrenal.
Mhm.
Adrenal gland disorders. Oh, God. I mean, this is, oh, God, there you go. What are some types of adrenal gland disorders? Oh, no, the tumours. But this is where people feel like, I've heard that around coffee, it's like it's depleted your adrenal gland. I mean, sometimes I feel like, I think about a diesel car and you can smell it. You know, you can smell the diesel out the back of the exhaust, regardless of what it's doing. You know it's a diesel car. So
you think anxiety is a bit like that?
I feel like the amount of coffee that sometimes I consume and it's just on my breath, I'm a diesel car.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's just, you know, it
gets you agitated.
Yeah. Can we talk about Jess dropping a whole almond latte in my car yesterday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing was you handle those things very well.
Well, I don't care as much as, say, you would. Because you're thinking about your partner and what shit. Your car's very clean.
Bree runs a tight ship.
We're running a loose unit. We're running
Worse things have happened to that mat. Yeah.
Well, our back mats in our car, which you get back mats, and if you don't get a car and then get back mats or mats, seriously think twice.
Yeah, we actually got ours thrown in.
Well, a lot of the time we'll chuck in mats, we'll chuck in.
Yeah.
Mate, it should
How
be.
much do you reckon they're worth?
Oh, it could be up to like $300 for mats.
They're sort of the captions of video, like, you know, what video production captions are.
Extras.
Mats. Yeah, it's like you don't expect.
But you make the payment before you. So Tully, last year, Amy was giving, you know, myself, Jess, Tully a lift to the next venue.
Yeah.
Amy's designated driver. She's pregnant. Tully had a bottle of Fireball cinnamon liquor. Yeah. Just dropped in the back seat.
Okay.
Bodie's there. He's just thinking it's
right.
bloody, there's sugar in the car.
Yeah, cinnamon.
It went on the mat that's at the bottom of Bodie's feet, like down low. His feet don't touch it. But the car stank like Fireball for weeks and weeks.
In a good way?
Nah, like in a sickening way.
Okay.
And it went rock hard, and it's still rock hard in the car. And so then...
What about the mat?
And then Jess spills her almond latte, the whole thing. Yeah. Poor thing didn't even get a sip. That's what I was concerned about.
Yeah, that was annoying.
On the other mat. And so you've got Tully ruining one side and Jess ruining the other. Yesterday I cleaned it off. Like Jess cleaned it, I cleaned it, dried it out. But this morning I opened the car. Smells like a latte.
Well, latte is better than smelling damp. You know, like accidentally leaving the window open. Yeah. And then you get that damp smell. Yeah. Horrendous. It smells terrible.
Look, if you've had a panic attack, what happens? What's your symptom? Maybe it's different. Like I've heard other people having other symptoms.
Can you think of any moments where you've had? So I remember I had a panic attack at a bagel shop in New York.
What happened?
They asked me what I wanted. I just walked out.
A panic attack. I don't think I've had a panic attack. I've had anxiety. Get it?
Have you ever had
it's all too much and it has to go?
A public meltdown?
Nah.
I haven't either. I feel like I would be the guy too. Have one of those.
Well, I mean, is it just a meltdown in public? But there's a difference between eyes on you. So like Dan Harris? Dan Harris,
from 10% Happier.
Yep. Yeah, he was the TV anchor. Yeah, had a breakdown on live television.
Which
he was
didn't
also
look
a
as
coke
bad.
addict and
didn't look as bad as what you think.
That's just a tired yawn, I reckon.
Yeah,
You've just given up. So if you succumb to the yawns and you just like let it go, I'll tell you a breakdown. I feel like it's like I reckon the other week nearly had a breakdown. Just wanted to cry. You know, it sounds real sad.
The froyo sounded like a near breakdown.
That was. I mean, that's
just a nice
that was
Wednesday night.
That wasn't even that bad. It was like I think it was when we were walking through the park, Fitzroy Gardens.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you just feel sad. There's not much reason to feel sad. Yeah. And I think that's quite normal at times. It's varying levels, but just wanted to cry and I kept it all in, you know?
Yeah. Well, good job with the toxic masculinity. I mean, but even someone said on the Matt Diavella video, that guy looks like he's going to, it was me.
That guy's going
That
to
guy looks like he's going to cry.
Really?
Or no, he said, is that guy crying? But
Nothing wrong with a good cry.
yeah.
When was the last time you had a cry?
Oh, when was it?
Off camera.
Yeah, I probably was on camera.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's off camera.
Yeah,
is
so
more,
I haven't. I think the feeling has been less teary and more numb. It's just a little bit like it's just like breathe it, like yeah. It's I'm swallowing.
I could
I don't know.
I mean, literally. I think it's. I felt like crying more as like in this part of my life than any part of my adult life. It's having a child too, but filming at Northern College of the Arts and Technology, a school for kids that are in year 10 to 12.
Yeah,
that are it's very arts focused, performing arts, artistic, musical. Like it's so good, amazing. But seeing young kids. I was like feeling like I wanted to cry based on how proud I would be if I was their parent.
Yeah, sure.
It's you want to cry now?
Yeah. No. I'm trying to think of like it's funny, like different emotions.
Yeah. So I would
like
never
different stuff.
Before Bodhi, I would never have thought about that. Like in terms of like seeing kids and thinking about what I would feel if I was their parent.
People
and then,
being really nice. I feel like that's it. Like for some reason, like that seems like you get more of an emotional thing.
People
like
doing,
even seeing Basil, who we spoke about, gave Jess a nice birthday present.
Oh, that would have been great if you
and
just
it was just
crying.
like, but it was just like, this is really lovely.
Well, he's a really lovely guy.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not that lovely.
Don't you think that like, there's certain personalities that maybe bring? I reckon Basil would have been in front of a lot of people that cry because he's just like that sort of
made
disarming.
People cry?
Yeah, not made people cry, but just the friendliness
created
and the
an
kind
environment.
eyes. Yeah, an environment where you feel like, you know what, I feel like crying.
Yeah.
What do you say to Bodhi when he cries?
Tough enough. No, absolutely not. It depends. It depends on what's going on. If it's warranted, as in like he's being absolutely silly, and and you can talk him out of it.
Can
but if
you
he
tell
hurts
between
himself,
a fake cry and a real cry?
Of course.
What's the difference?
Of course. Just what it's about.
Like it's just
the sound of it.
Yeah.
I can't even articulate, but you just know your child. You can hear it crying in a pack of kids crying. Like that's how in tune, based on just it happening so often. And so I remember Bodhi's first tears.
Oh yeah,
I think I have them on camera. No joke, because kids don't have their tear ducts functioning like adults until a certain point, and there's no water when they. It's weird, dude. It's so bizarre because but there's nothing in them.
Yeah.
They're just having breast milk.
What do you when you think about being a dad for the second time? Do you think about that stuff much?
Which, the crying bit?
No, just in general.
In what? In terms just of thinking about having another child?
Yeah. You're thinking about the fact that you're going to have a little girl in your life in 6 months' time. Yeah,
it's bizarre, dude. It's bizarre. I am. Oh, definitely. When I'm feeling the kicking, it's much nicer this time. But I'm more the guy thinking about needing 2 cars now.
Yeah. Where have you landed with that? What are you going to do?
Bought a Tesla. No. I'd love that. If I was going to get another car, which I don't think we will straight away, I want something that's like could sleep in it, maybe. So like a van, like not a van, but like something that you could.
What do you want to sleep in it for?
Oh, go little adventures with Bodhi.
Sure.
Like imagine going to have a sleep and then we wake up and we go surfing the next day.
Yeah. Or
like a
So you just want something that's practical, though.
I want something that we can use for carrying gear around and like shoots and stuff, but also chucking bikes into. Like it's a real thing, dude. 2 cars as a family. You see why people buy more than 1 car, but then some people don't even have a car. So no, but definitely thinking about having a little girl. It's going to be a fucking trip, dude. Just having a little boy. I think I'm glad that I had a boy first, just based on
being familiar with it all.
Yeah. No, like less scared.
Yeah.
Just this.
Why do you think you're more scared?
No, just less scared. Like not. Like I don't know. There's something in me that thinks about even just dealing with downstairs and the nappy changes and just I know it, mate. I've worked that before on myself, you know.
Yeah.
But just under like, I don't know. It's great because Bodhi and I have a really special little bond, and then
So you're not going to deal with the new baby.
well, there's a difference in think about two people's attention being on one child, and then Bodhi needs attention. And so Amy has to look after, you know, when she can, and then, you know, switching over, and Bodhi's, you know, can watch TV while Amy has a rest while I take the baby. But there's a lot of that thinking. So it's logistics, but also not as scary. You do something once, you're familiar. It's not as scary as the first time.
Well, you were talking about like Christmas plans. Was it Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
And so the idea of like booking ahead, does it not feel a little bit weird booking something ahead when you know there's going to be something in the world that you didn't have before?
Yeah, well, I think we're looking at booking an apartment in Bondi for a week in Christmas time. But the thing is, dude, you look at it now, it's $100 a night.
That cheap?
$150 a night.
Why?
That's like...
As in for December?
Like January, first week of January, which is so cheap. And if you booked that, which you couldn't get something a week out, which we leave everything to the last minute, and it's a nightmare. And so it's all about just how can you control your controllables. Can't control the kid.
So you're going to book it in?
I think we are. We'll book something in. But I wanted to have a look at some, get on to our friends at the Overlow Hotel. That would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, stay at because my thought is you stay in an Airbnb for what, $150 a night in a great place. But can you stay in a hotel and get a bit of room service? You know, like you'll spend a bit more money, but it's like, I don't know. It might be another option.
Yeah. On their Airbnb thing, I know I said before, I was like, I can't be fucked talking about investing and stuff, but I will for a second. Because I've been like, this is what my rabbit hole. I don't know much, but I'm just like learning and getting familiar with stuff. Looking at different businesses and thinking about where to invest. Airbnb. When you think about Airbnb, do you think of something that's got like a crazy, awesome future?
I think they would have to pivot. I think they'll have to like into real estate, selling real estate.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're doing though? I heard something about, I mean,
they're doing like commercial leases and
commercial,
stuff.
yeah.
So the idea of like office spaces, like, so they could be like a version of not even WeWork, but it's like, think Airbnb, but for commercial buildings.
I mean, aren't they a profitable business though? Like, haven't they been one that, in respects to Uber or something, that has taken that much funding that they haven't made more money than they've had invested?
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
For the second quarter of 2019, Reuters reported that Airbnb took in more than $1 billion in revenue. The home sharing service company says the hosts they've chosen to list their properties on Airbnb have earned over $80 billion. Yeah, wow. I wonder. Here you go. Still, the coronavirus, Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky at the company event in 2018. During the third quarter of the year, Airbnb made $219 million in profit.
Wow.
On revenue of $1.3 billion. Yeah, no, so I was just thinking about companies, and then I went down this rabbit hole of going through the ASX and seeing all of the companies that are listed.
See Kogan?
I did.
Kogan was there.
They've taken a hit. Did you see that?
What's happened to them?
Kogan shares have plummeted
from
way.
the launch.
Yeah, so in the last like 2 weeks,
why
they wiped off like something like 20% or some ridiculous amount. So it's interesting because it seems to be all external forces, because they had a really good report. Like everything that they were saying was really positive. But yeah, thinking about companies and thinking about where they're going to be, and then I was thinking about looking at the different companies, and then I saw Oliver's being the food company where it's like random, you know, on a freeway. You'll see an Oliver's at a petrol station.
What's the healthy option? Their selling point was beans instead of chips.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
But then I was thinking, I just caught myself in this moment trying to be strategic in the thinking. Like, I don't know anything about that business, but I'm like, you know what? People are going to want to go on road trips. And what do you need on road trips? You need snacks. But then it's like, that can't be. But then you compare it to big tech companies
Yeah.
like Apple and Google, it's like, well, that seems like a sure bet, doesn't it? Compared
Well, which does the Apple or
Apple and Google. So like the thing that I've been investing in is this thing called NDQ on the ASX. NDQ is taking the top 100 on the NASDAQ, and it's all the tech stuff. So it's like Google, Apple, all that sort of thing. It's an index fund, and you're like, you're buying a share, and you get you're basically buying a share into that fund that's got all of this,
which is safer bets.
Yeah.
Than
But then,
randoms.
but I just think about, say, all of those companies versus something like an Oliver's. When you hear people talking about stories of losing money, it's always single companies, don't you think? Like when you hear
Who owns Oliver? Is that its own?
Yeah, it's like a publicly listed
I
company.
mean, the thing is about all these businesses, the people that IPO them make the money. Like the early stage. Think about Kogan, what that stock came out for, and what it went to, like days after. That always happens. It comes out high and goes down.
And he sold, I think, like in August last year, he sold like $100 million in shares, which is not like a good sign. You don't want to be saying that all the time, but also you want to take some money off the table. If
he did buy a few properties down the peninsula.
It must be nice.
Must be nice. Probably stopped in at Oliver's.
But
on Peninsula Link.
But it's so funny thinking about how much bullshit you can spin around. Think like strategizing.
Yeah.
Then I ended up watching a Warren Buffett interview, because Warren Buffett's whole thing is don't try and time the market, go into an index fund, do that, and you'll do better than trying to fucking buy and sell.
Yeah. Long term.
For most people. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have the money to invest first. Which most people don't have the money to.
Yeah. Well, that's
start
that
investing.
is the whole funny thing, right? Whenever we say, I wish I knew that Apple was going to be big.
Yeah.
It's like the reason why I didn't buy stock in 2012 when I wanted to is because I didn't have money. Otherwise, I would have, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Exactly. I've been, I've kind of been evading the truth with Amy. So she tonight had an event that was booked in, or she asked me, are you working late on Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
I was just like, can I get back to you? And I left it hanging because I didn't want to answer. Because if I answer and say that I am working late, I'm lying.
What do you mean?
And I don't want to lie because Amy's friend had gotten onto me and said, mate, I'm flying down to Melbourne. I was like, dude, stay at our place. Of course, Amy's best friend.
And so why did he contact you and not Amy?
Because we're doing a surprise for Amy.
Okay.
And so
did you already know this when Amy asked, are you working late?
So luckily it just took a couple of days before I didn't have that
you're
booked
being
in.
a prick and saying, I can't tell you. And it's just worked out well.
We have had a bunch of shoots that have gone late and I actually didn't know, but it was around the similar time that I got contacted.
Sure.
And so Amy's friend from work had won these tickets to this fashion event that she was going to take Amy to.
And then you said no because I'm going to have to work late.
And I said, look, safe bet, tell her that you can't go because I probably will be working late.
Yeah.
But it's been so funny. I can't wait to ask her, did you ever think you got a real answer off me? Because I'm reading the book Lying by Sam Harris. It's all about how you shouldn't lie about anything. And I'm just like, I want to surprise her because she's going to get a fucking surprise when Ryan comes to the office and I tell Amy, can you please come pick me up and then come upstairs, and Amy will come up and she'll see Ryan and she'll be mind blown.
Oh, that'll be great.
And then we'll go to the pub tonight. We'll have some dinner, a few beers.
You're not going to go to
Lobster Cave.
Yeah.
Who's paying?
Ryan, maybe.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, it could be his work on his work card. Yeah. He's down here for work.
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, so I don't, so because you just become sheepish. So she'd just be, he's been weird, but fuck it, I'm not going anyway.
Do you worry about like how your mouth looks when you talk?
No.
You know, when you're lying and it's just all of a sudden it's like you're just smiling. It's like, what are you smiling? It's like nothing.
Real out of body experience. You can see yourself. Yeah. It's like a movie playing back. So
you can feel your glands.
It's going to be worth it for a surprise. Sort of evading the truth and having her so happy.
You'll look like a hero.
And I'll look like an absolute
even
legend.
though you did say that she couldn't go before the whole Ryan thing.
I tell you what, I cleaned
wanna
the
take
house
my- okay.
last night.
Oh, that's nice.
There was a big load of washing that had been
Was she like, why are
dried.
you doing all of this?
Well, I just did it all.
Uh-huh.
I've sent Cracker out for two
Mm-hmm.
sweeps of the house. And
Cracker
he's
being the
vacuumed,
your
yep.
remote control vacuum.
vacuumed up my house.
Automated vacuum, yeah.
But I've cleaned the house so it's really nice.
Mhm.
But boy, did I want to say to her,
Yeah.
come on, say thank you. You just like, it's amazing when you can't be fishing for the compliment based on it kind of then her maybe poking holes in
Yeah,
why I'm being
are
a
you doing
sweetheart.
all- yeah. That's nice.
Well, it is good.
How long's Ryan going to be here for?
Oh, just one night.
Uh-huh.
But
What? So do you know what you're going to do for dinner? You don't know yet.
yeah, we'll go to the Tempe.
Okay.
The place where Brody calls it the Claw because it's got a skill tester.
Yes, yeah, great.
And so
Like pub food,
pub food.
Parma.
Awesome. Yeah, it's
Great.
got everything,
Great.
dude. Caesar salads, great.
Oh, great. Love a Caesar.
But hopefully Uncle Ryan, it's Bodie's godfather, hopefully he will bring some coins for Bodie to play the skill tester because
Oh,
he
yeah, that'd be
loves
great.
the skill tester.
Lovely. Bodie does.
Bodie loves
Yeah,
it. I'm sure Ryan does too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, well, it's the Daily Talk Show. Have a good one, guys.
see you guys.